Welcome to our conference call tonight. I guess it's our Zoom call. We just returned from an amazing leadership conference. And we want to welcome all of you that were there with us, as well as those of you that weren't able to make it. We want to share with you some of the highlights tonight. But just to kick it off and give you an idea of what we experienced in Phoenix, Arizona, our company just ended a record year. We're a 45-year-old company, the Juice Plus company based in Memphis, Tennessee. And after 45 years, we had the best year we've ever had. In the first 2 months of 2016, we've experienced double-digit growth. So you can imagine the excitement, the enthusiasm, and the energy that existed at this conference. We had a great time. We got great information. Those of you that were there got equipped to come home with a better vision and better tools and a better understanding of our business model. So tonight, we've taken just a few of our leaders that came to our conference, and they're going to share with you some of the highlights of what happened during the week. And for the most part, we're going to walk you through chronologically of the great week we had in Phoenix. And one of the first things that happened, for those of you that got to fly in early and got to experience Camelback in Scottsdale, Arizona, where our leaders get invited, our 39 Club, our new NMDs, and those that are on the Fast Track Upward Mobility program with our company, they get invited at the company's expense to attend a phenomenal retreat. And to share with us tonight about this retreat experience is Carmen Maxwell. She's from Cincinnati, Ohio. And Carmen, can you share a little bit? I think you had a good time in Camelback. Can you tell the folks what happened out there?
Oh my goodness, we had the best time. My husband and I were so excited to be able to go to the spa this year for the very first time. And let me just say that the Juice Plus company really knows how to roll out the red carpet for us. From the moment that we arrived at the airport in Phoenix and we were met by our own personal driver who had our names on an iPad, it was amazing. I've seen that in the movies before, but never experienced it in person. And you know, the Camelback Inn was just absolutely gorgeous, and the scenery and the weather were beautiful, and we were just so spoiled by our company with dinners and breakfasts and pool time. And, you know, I was able to meet leaders in person who I've admired and looked up to and watched for my entire Juice Plus journey and learn from them. It was incredible. We climbed Camelback Mountain. Oh my goodness, that was so much fun. During the climb, I kept thinking, you know, I was terrified. I'm scared of heights, so I didn't know what I was in for. I just kept thinking, put one foot in front of the other and watch the person in front of you, and you'll get to the top. And, you know, I mean, if that isn't a total metaphor for our business, I don't know what is. And so one of the biggest highlights for me, though, was at one of the breakfasts, there was a panel of leaders who shared many of the tools that are working in our Juice Plus business. And the tools included, they were Voxer and Zoom and Facebook parties and startup calls. And, you know, during this panel, we were able to hear from Chris Schloss, who is the husband of superstar National Marketing Director Casey Schloss. I know you guys all know who she is. And he shared about spouses working together. And that just was a really important moment for me to be able to hear that. You know, he and Casey are a team, and he shared about how they really work from their individual strengths, and they think of their Juice Plus business as our business, not Casey's business. And I don't really want to share too much about what he said, because I know that he was committed to doing a call soon. He and Casey will do a call, and they'll share how they work their business together. But, you know, what really stuck with me is that, you know, your partner and you have different strengths to bring to the table. And so your partner doesn't need to duplicate exactly what you're doing. My husband, if he wants to, you know, work the Juice Plus business and make it our business, he doesn't have to do exactly what I'm doing. He can actually take whatever his innate talents and strengths and fill in the gaps with where maybe I'm not as strong. And together, you know, we're stronger. And then the other thing that he shared, which I just really loved, is, you know, we always want to know, how are these really strong leaders in our business, how are they doing it? How are they moving so quickly? And, you know, he said that the secret to Casey's success is not really a secret. It's just that she works really, really hard. And I loved that because, you know, the truth is that in our business, unlike a lot of businesses, effort really does equal reward. And so I loved hearing from those leaders, and I loved the 39 Club retreat.
Carmen, thanks so much. And you'll be glad to know, Carmen, I was on the phone with Chris today, and we're going to do that Zoom call next week and talk about couples working in the business together. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Julie, on the next slide, if you can go over to that next one. We experienced some aha moments. I think you heard Carmen say that Camelback was an aha moment for her, and that breakfast that morning in the panel. Well, at conference, if you've never been before, we have main stage presentations that everybody attends, but then we kind of have a menu of breakout sessions for different topics that are very important to our business. And one of our incredible leaders that probably has one of the fastest growing businesses in the company today, Wendy Vance, who is from Virginia, was able to do a training for us on getting a new person started. And evidence to what Wendy is doing that it works is one of her brand new national marketing directors, Stephanie Getz, was at that training. And I got to meet and be with Stephanie and Clayton, her husband, and they work together this business as a team, just like Carmen was talking about. So Stephanie, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you share a little bit of the nuggets and some aha moments from Wendy's training. Are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share. There's a lot to share from Wendy's presentation, and much of it everyone has seen before, but I really wanted to reflect what Wendy's done differently to accomplish the explosive growth that she's experienced over the last year and a half. And I believe that this all started with mindset, which is why we started with this particular slide. We all have to first make a commitment to decide where we want to go, and then we have to decide, am I doing what it takes to get there? And I know that was a big shift that Wendy had in her thinking. If the answer is no, then we have changing that obviously needs to take place within ourselves. So how do we change? We have to commit to better ourselves through personal growth and development. As Wendy always says, and I think she said it in her speech as well, leaders are readers. So one of the books that many of us on our team committed to read was The Compound Effect. This book is phenomenal in helping you to determine where you are and to help you create a roadmap of how you want to get to where you want to be through small changes which have a big impact down the road. So Wendy first had a shift in her thinking, which allowed herself to start dreaming. She then made a decision that she was going to pay for 6 kids' college education through an increase in her earnings. And she realized that in order to do this, she had to make very big changes in herself. So the journey to personal development obviously started. So the next slide are action steps that we all took to experience explosive growth. So the system, we have a system in place through the missiondrivenmodel.info. All you have to do is plug in it and follow it and teach others to do the same. You have to also be consistent, have a daily method of operation, and either do like the Royal Crown, the 5 customers and 1 new distributor, or the 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. And then get good at building relationships, fostering the ones you already have and creating new ones. And you can do this through events, connection calls, Voxer. And of course, you want to make all of this just fun. You want to make it fun. And the next slide, which we've all seen, is the path. So obviously, we want to build a really strong customer base with your own customers, which ultimately turns into a qualified business. And then we want to teach other people to do the same. On the next slide, we want to live the mission. We want to share the journey and inspire others to also add one simple change. We want to know our customers, and we can do that through and engage our customers, and we can do that through our Facebook support groups and customer groups. And then we want to create, through those processes, a raving fan, and then, of course, invite them to join our team. And if we're doing all of these steps really, really well, that's what happened. It actually just happened to me last week, where I had a very happy customer that's been a customer of mine for a year, and she has decided to join our mission. So the next slide shows our mission-driven-model.info, which has everything we need to run our business. And when reps have questions, I try to always point them back to this website, because pretty much I found that this has all the tools that we need to run a very successful business. The next slide shows our fast track roadmap, which I think Julie's going to be going over a little more in depth later, but it clearly lays out how to invite our raving fan customers into the mission and then ultimately, hopefully, turn them into a sales coordinator. Our next slide lays out all the steps that we need to follow to help set up our new representatives for success. We want to help them set up their website, get them on Voxer, connect the team to the new team member to customer Facebook pages, work groups. And then we want to get them on connection calls. This is one of my favorite parts with new representatives. I love this because I love it when I get a new rep on the phone and they have no goals and no dreams. And before they get off the call, they have gone from no goals to big goals. And we can also help them on this call to step into their story so that when they leave that call, they feel comfortable to immediately go out and start sharing their story with other people. So that's my goal on those calls. We also want to plug them into the mission-driven model and make sure that they're using it. And then, of course, get them to schedule 2 events on their calendar before we get off that call. Wendy also started doing potlucks a year ago, and this was an event where everyone brings a dish to eat. We fellowship, and then we go around the room, and all we do is share stories. And we will bring, obviously, all team members, but even customers or non-customers will come. And many times, if they are not a customer when they come, they leave one. And if they're a customer, many times they'll leave a distributor because they are so impressed by the community and the stories that they hear that they just want to be a part of it. When Wendy started these, she had like 5 of us in the living room, and now there's like somewhere between 30 and 40 people that attend these potlucks monthly. And now we have them all around Richmond. And last but not least, I think one thing that has really helped us all to grow our businesses quickly is that we've become really, really good at tracking to help our reps stay on track. So we're all really good at staying on top of our reports and keeping our representatives updated of how many points they have, but more importantly, what those points translate to in orders. So, a new rep might not necessarily understand that 500 points equals 3 trio orders. So we break it down to make it concrete so that they understand the steps that they need to take to get to their next goal. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Stephanie. That was amazing. Please tell Clayton we said thanks for sharing you tonight, and tell Wendy she did a phenomenal job. So we appreciate you doing that. Thanks, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
We don't have time to cover every breakout session, but let me give you a few highlights, and we're going to cover one more in detail. But there was a phenomenal breakout session by Courtney O'Donnell, and she talked about goal setting. And if you've never done any goal setting, you're going to want to tune into the virtual office, as these presentations will be made available online very soon. But if you don't have goals, you need to think about, number one, setting goals for each month so you make each month better than the next. So we had a great training on goal setting, lots more coming, but you want to focus on that and get with someone on your team that went and took notes at that session. And again, Courtney's training will be available on the virtual office very soon. So we talked about that, setting goals, reaching the next level. And one of the ways we do that at one of our other breakout sessions, it was done by National Marketing Director Kim McCall, and she talked about using social media to engage your audience, using social media to share your journey, to share your story. And there are very much right and wrong ways to use social media. Probably many of you have seen people in your network on social media, how you feel like they're abusing that platform, how they're not sharing the experiences of their life, the fun things that are going on, the great things that are happening. And we put on the screen right now for you a link to Kim's YouTube video. She just blessed us all, and she actually posted her full social media training from Phoenix on YouTube. And if you go to that link, we'll give you just a second, you can write that down, makea.life/JP-social. That will link you to her YouTube video, and everybody on the call tonight should definitely spend 30 minutes and sit down and watch that phenomenal video, because social media is so important to our business today. And one of the things that was also highlighted in another breakout session that I believe Gretchen and Sherry shared from the main stage was how to best utilize your virtual office. Today we've gone into much more of a paperless world, and our virtual office keeps getting better and better. And over the last 90 days, you may have noticed how it's much more iconic and graphical in design, and you can run your entire business right there from your virtual office, from placing an order to getting reports that tell you the status of your business, to see the new advancements and how your organization is growing. And so we really encourage you to, number one, this training will get posted too on your virtual office soon. But what you want to do, and what I think Gretchen and Sherry shared, was that if you'll just invest some time, sometimes just clicking and finding out where things are on your own is the best way to learn how to use the virtual office. And one of the most important things is when you start a new distributor in this business, this tool that you're using tonight, Zoom, which you can get a free account, is one of the best investments you'll make in a new distributor by doing a getting started training and showing them and giving them a tour of your virtual office. So there's lots more information. The number one takeaway there is you need to spend some time on your virtual office and make sure you equip your new distributor in how to use it. Our last breakout session we're going to go to is really timely because it's spring. Our theme for March was Go Green. Everything's going. I'm here in Atlanta, and it was 80 degrees today, and the azaleas and dogwoods are just bursting out. And we've got a special guest tonight, Julie Zinkus from Wheaton, Illinois. And Julie, I think you're going to share with us a little bit about the Tower Garden. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. I'm very excited. Thanks for having me. Quite an opportunity. I'm going to jump right in. These first two slides are really just showing you my passion for the tower and sharing it with the community. Got 2 girls and 3 towers. So my 5 babies, I like to say. We can go to the next slide. I'm going to talk a little bit about Meredith and Kim, the 2 women that spoke mostly about the tower. This current slide is Wheaton College. I have 3 towers on Wheaton College campus, and that was 2 years in the making. And it's fun to see it actually on a college campus locally. And I'm just addicted to them. Next slide, please. Meredith spoke mainly about the progression of the tower. I can't believe it's been out for 4 years now. It was launched 4 years ago in Phoenix, and I don't know about you, but the time has flown for me having a tower for 4 years, and it's fun to watch it grow and bloom in all the communities across the country. The Tower Garden logo itself has been updated. It's simpler and it's better for print and digital formats. So that's on all of our brochures, and it's coming out in all of our other print. The new Tower Garden website is also streamlined. It's just the towergarden.com site. It's streamlined, it's simplified. The store is a lot easier to navigate, so make sure you spend some time there. And it's mobile friendly. I'm sure a lot of people that are on tonight, I live on my phone. I do so much of our business from my phone, so I'm very thankful for that. That was exciting news. And on the next slide, Kim Alexander talked quite a bit about our Tower Talk site. This was launched in fall, at Fall Conference, and it's the same interface that they use for AppleCare, and so it's extremely collaborative, it's user-friendly. If you haven't already gone on there, go on, and it's free. Just log in, you have a password, and there's so much information. It's overwhelming at first, but there's curriculums, there's question and answers. If you have a troubleshooting with an insect or something that's wreaking havoc on your tower, you put a question up and you're going to get answers within minutes. It's very fun. And I would encourage you to post things too, because I've used it as a resource and maybe haven't put as many things onto it as I should have. The Growing Up Grant program was also launched last fall. That's where the Boys and Girls Clubs across the US are able to get a free tower. And there's details on your websites about that, but since its launch, 150 tower gardens are across the country now. And I think that's phenomenal how we're impacting communities. And I think the biggest takeaway for me was my experience in hearing them all speak about the benefits of the tower is really 2 things. It's the community. Kim spoke about being an only child, and she said, wow, I always wanted siblings, and when I came to the Juice Plus company, I have brothers and sisters all over the globe. And really, I think whether you are an only child or a single mother, or maybe you are a distributor that feels kind of alone because your upline is out of state, we're never alone in this community. I mean, we have a huge family, and that just was over and over, people spoke about that from the stage, and I think that's powerful. And I think the other thing is this sense of empowerment that we're giving to people with the tower. I mean, Juice Plus is an amazing product. We're changing people from the inside out. But I can't walk up to a principal in a school and say, here's some capsules. I think you should put that into your curriculum. But I can do that with a tower. And I think that we're able to just reach more people with that. We're changing not only families, but communities and institutions, and cities. And it's just fun to watch. So I think when you take the sense of community and you take the sense of empowerment, I like to call it tower power. It's very powerful what we have.
Thank you so much, Julie. And I'm going to turn it back over to the other Julie on tonight. And Julie Herbst, are you there?
I'm here, Kurt. Julie, that was incredible. Thank you so much for sharing. Hi, everyone. Well, Juice Plus continues to be the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the world. To date, we have 34 research articles that have been published about Juice Plus, and this is what the research has found. I think we're all pretty familiar with this list. One of the studies on that list was done at the Nemours Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida, many years ago. And this study was done on 6 to 10-year-old little boys. And it showed that Juice Plus improved insulin resistance and reduced abdominal fat mass. This study was published in one of the most prestigious journals, the Journal of Pediatrics, and that in and of itself is exciting. But this finding was really important. We have an epidemic of obesity and diabetes in our country today. Well, not only was this study impressive, it impressed the researchers. And what they have done with this study is they are doing a follow-up study. And this is actually on the fact, and what they've already found in this study is that Juice Plus reduced the concentration of fat mass building molecules. And the way that they can test this is through the blood. And so this is a new study. This will be the 35th one, and we should be learning more about it in the coming days. But this is just exciting. And this is not the only study that's coming up. We've got 5 more ready to be published in the next year, right into 2017. And this research it's not only the most research that we will ever have published in a short period of time, but look at the topics that we're going to have now. Wound healing with wisdom tooth extraction, really exciting finding to share with people. We're going to have more inflammation studies, chronic inflammation, low-grade inflammation, gene expression of inflammation. I mean, it's just really exciting. I love the one being done at the University of Memphis in Tennessee. Recently, in the last couple of months, I've done 3-way calls with 4 families. Their children are all 16, 3 boys and a girl. And these children have terrible intestinal situations, health challenges. And it just breaks my heart as a mom. I'm like, why is this happening to 16-year-olds today? But you know what? This study is going to be really exciting to share with these families and with these kids when this comes out, because it's about Juice Plus and microbiome, intestinal permeability. So we have so much to look forward with this. And look at the very last study down there. This is a systematic review of all of our Juice Plus research. And it is going to show the impact of Juice Plus in terms of disease prevention and reduction of healthcare costs. And I think that's probably the one we can get the most excited about with all that we're hearing in the news today. And even hearing Jay Martin at our conference speak about how we can impact that as a community. So much to look forward to with our research. This is absolutely one of the reasons we can have confidence and really get out there and share Juice Plus with people. It is unlike anything else that's out there. This is something else we have to look forward to. Juice Plus Essentials. We're going to be getting a new product very soon. It will be the full complement of omegas from vegetarian sources. Really exciting, unique to the market. It's going to fit right in with our Juice Plus product line, and we're going to hear more about this in the coming days. And I'm excited about this. This is going to complement what we have already in a beautiful way. Let's talk, shift into our customer journey a little bit. You know, customer care defines us as a company and as a culture. We want to give 5-star customer care to our customers. We want them to have an awesome experience. So we engage with them and we turn them into raving fans. This is what our mission-driven model is about. And one of the ways that our company is supporting us in doing that is with monthly themes every month. We are right now in March, we're doing Go Green. We're all eating green. And then in April, we're getting ready for Active in April. If you log into your virtual office and click on resources on your little dashboard, and then you click on monthly theme resources, you will see some content that our company is making for us. This is where we can find pictures and videos. We can post these on social media and our customer Facebook groups. There's beautiful Facebook images for us to use so that we just have a professional look. And our company is making these things. I love the tracking form they're making every month. I have a quick story about the March Go Green tracker. I posted this in our customer Facebook group. And we had a mom, I don't know who she is, she's somebody's customer. She posted this, you know, we've been using the Go Green calendar. My son pretends to be a super spy to find green in our meal. It's awesome. When I say what we're having for dinner, and he says, we need something green. Okay, that makes me want to cry. I'm a mom on a mission, so I'm like, isn't that awesome that that's what's happening with our One Simple Change themes? So if you're not participating in these company-wide Juice Plus community themes every single month, definitely jump in with us. We are having so much fun. And when we lock arms and do something together, it's that much more impactful. Our company's also tweeting about the One Simple Change monthly theme. They're posting articles on juiceplus.com and so much more. Even in shipments that our customers get of products, our company is putting support material for the One Simple Change theme each month. You know, our mission-driven model, as Stephanie mentioned, is all about the path. You know, this is what we do. We build customer bases. We absolutely want to try to qualify our businesses with our own customers. That would look something like 25 trio customers. That's really what you want your goal to be. You want to qualify your business with your own customers, and you want to duplicate this with your team. Why? Well, because it's the path, it's the way we build our business, but you'll absolutely maximize your paycheck if you do that too. So the people who are maximizing their paycheck know this, and they're doing it, and their income is sometimes 50% higher than people who are missing the boat on that. So this is something that we really want to work on all together, is qualifying our businesses with our own customer base. And, you know, we want to turn our customers, as I said earlier, into raving fans and invite them to join our mission. And Stephanie introduced you to this new digital brochure that our company made for us. It's only available in digital form. It's the Fast Track to Sales Coordinator Roadmap. We call it the Fast Track Roadmap. I want to thank Jennifer Myers and her amazing team for creating this document. And you can actually print it out on your virtual office. You're going to go under this pull down menu right here, training. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see it right at the bottom under team building. You can download this, print it out, you can fold it up, and you can use this at your next team training to share. Use this with your new reps too, like Stephanie said, sharing with them that 3 trio orders will equal 500 points. It's so nice for them to be able to hear that and see it. Let's talk about juiceplusvirtualfranchise.com. This is a website that we've had for a long time, and we can learn about our company, our mission, and this website is going to be getting a few changes and updates, one of which are some videos about Generation Plus. What does that mean? Well, Kurt's going to explain a little bit more in a few minutes, but this is Tori Davies and her mom, Jeanette Vidtruba. They showed an adorable video with the two of them. Tori is one of the youngest national marketing directors in our company, and her mom, Jeanette, is a national marketing director too, and we're starting to see this happen. NMDs are birthing NMDs, literally. The children of NMDs are becoming NMDs, and it's so neat. So we're going to be seeing some videos like this happening. I can't wait till my children's 18th birthday. They're not there yet, but that's one thing I'm looking forward to. Another thing that we're going to see on juiceplusvirtualfranchise.com is more about the charitable impact our company is making. This whole concept of the Juice Plus Foundation and inspiring healthy giving. And we know that this is so incredible to share with people. Our company has donated $8.2 million to St. Jude's. They're giving away 10 million meals with our Juice Plus Complete through Volunteers of America, and the Tower Gardens they're giving to the Boys and Girls Clubs. We have so much to be proud of and so much to share with other people. So now they will be able to read more about that on juiceplusvirtualfranchise.com. We've also had a standalone website to learn about our next Juice Plus conference. It's been juiceplusconference.com. That site is going to be going away. We won't have that website anymore. Instead, on juiceplusvirtualfranchise.com, there will be a whole section on the Juice Plus conference. And this is where the information will be shared about the conference. We can relive the memories from the last conference. And, you know, even though we're recapping some of that tonight for you, we can't truly give you that experience tonight on this webinar. You just really have to see some of the pictures, and you've got to come and experience it. It's so exciting. One last thing, if you are in the business partner program or on your way, how do you get into that program? You have to fast track to sales coordinator. Then you will be part of the business partner program. And in the business partner, Mike Clifton is the director of that, and we have a new addition to our corporate staff, Janet Black. She's the senior director of U.S. sales. She's going to be working with the business partners, with the regional directors, with Randy Matthews, and I got to meet her at the conference. What a great addition to our company. I'm so excited about her. She comes with a strong background in network marketing. She's going to be a really wonderful asset to all of us. And if you are in the business partner program, you've probably gotten familiar with who your regional director is and who the business partner is that works with that regional director. If you're not in that program yet, I'm sure you will be soon because you're on this webinar. And it's exciting that our company comes alongside us and really supports us in that way. Okay, Kurt, I'm done. I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Julie. That was amazing. You covered so much in such a short period of time. Thanks for doing that so professionally. That was great. Well, one of the things that we did different, I've been going to our conferences forever. And, you know, one of the things that I tell people is everybody that comes to a Juice Plus Leadership Conference is not making $10,000 a month, but everybody that is making $10,000 a month is there. And that says a lot. But we changed our format this time. If you've been before, you may have noticed this. What happened is Thursday night became the launch of the entire conference. And we got to see 3 different distinct segments on Thursday night. And it started out with Lisa Pebble, our product and research manager director, and she spends a lot of time on farms. She spends a lot of time traveling around the country and visiting farms where our product is grown. And she's gotten to know a lot of the farmers. And one of the things you'll find is that it's not just you partnering with the company and then you reaching out to a customer, but one of the things that's happening is we're partnering with farmers that are families that are growing produce all over the country. And our farmers and our growers, they love what they do. They're very smart. They use incredible technology and wise practices of not putting any chemicals and herbicides and pesticides on our products that aren't removed. If there's anything there, they're totally removed through the watering and irrigation. They're tech savvy. They're agriculturally educated. They use great technology, but they're environmentally savvy too. They're stewards of the land, and they use the very best practices possible for growing the produce. Next slide, Julie. And our product research and marketing intelligence team mission, that's Sean Hopkins, Lisa Pepple, Carlos Madero. Their goal and their mission is for you and for your customer to ensure the Juice Plus company remains the world's leader in whole food nutrition. You heard Julie cover the research, and we've got the pure, natural, best grown, best farmed produce in the world today, and they're going to make sure of that for years to come. Okay, Julie, one more slide. This is, to me, Julie and we had to pick because there were so many slides and so many stories that were shared about our phenomenal product. And there are great videos on YouTube about the farm to capsule story. But this picture right here kind of says it all. And it probably looks to you like 2 piles of something. But those are actually 2 samplings of powdered cranberries. And as many of you know, some people take shortcuts to save money, and they dilute their powders and their fruits to get the most bang for their buck. And that pile of powder on the left is another company that juices cranberries, and you can see the color is not nearly as dark as the Juice Plus cranberry powder on the right. And if you've studied and you understand our research, a lot of the nutrition in these fruits and vegetables come from the pigments and the dyes that color and make these fruits and vegetables rich and dark. And so this is just a testimony to the effort and the quality we go through to grow the best produce, to produce it at the highest quality so that your bodies and your customers' bodies get the highest impact. And that picture right there kind of says it all about our farmers and the produce and how we grow and process our fruits and vegetables. We have a new addition. If we have any Olympic fans on the line tonight, you may recognize this lady. This is Shannon Miller. She's the most decorated Olympic gymnast of all time. She's a mom. She's also educated as an attorney, and she is now a spokesperson, and through her living healthier and wellness model, she's got a great website. She is going to now be sharing and be front and center as we begin to put Juice Plus in a different place with the Olympic athlete background as well as her background as a mom. She's going to take both those angles and give us a lot of material to share on social media and to share with our customers and prospects through different videos and things the company's going to produce with Shannon. So stay tuned to a lot more information about how Shannon's going to be helping us tell the story of inspiring healthy living. Okay, Julie. Okay, now I get to introduce one of my buddies. And, in this business, we get to meet some of the most phenomenal people. And another couple that are just totally setting the pace, leading the example, are Doug and Sharon Farrar from Florida. And Sharon's going to share with us kind of something that gets overlooked at our conferences and doesn't get talked about as much, but it's probably one of the highlights. And that's the time we get to spend with our teams and the relationships we've built in this business. So Sharon, can you share a little bit about that experience for you?
Yes, I think it was one of the best conferences ever. There's a lot more to conference than what's on the schedule, what's on the agenda, or the time slots. There's a lot of things that happen outside the lines, and you want to think of conference as time for connections. And so corporate changed our time slots so that there were more blocks of time for quality time with our team, for running into our mentors, for running into our business partners and asking them questions, or to meet with sideline buddies. And if you'll go back, Julie, not ready yet. There's lots and lots of free time. And so what you want to do is you want to stick with your leader. You want to stick with what's happening with the team. You want to find out where's everybody at, what's everybody doing. You don't want to go back to your room and hibernate because all of a sudden there's some extra time. We gained an additional night, really, with them moving the kickoff to 5 p.m. on Thursday. So we had a Thursday night time slot and a Friday night time slot in addition to Saturday night. So there was a lot of good time that you could have those quality conversations and meetups. On the top picture, that's my team meeting. All of us have those. I like to do them Thursday nights because I like to think of it as a meet and greet where you can meet everybody before all the whirlwind of conference happens. And that's always a good time to recognize your team and get to know who is on our larger team. And you see each other on Facebook, so it's great to make those connections when you finally arrive. And then I wanted to point out that one of the most impactful times that we had was something that was just so impromptu and unplanned. And that was the bottom picture where after a main session of sitting and taking things in, we wanted to just hang out with each other. So we were looking for a place to hang out, and we ended up at these tables, and our small group got bigger and bigger and bigger. And we actually had a really quality, intense conversation that surrounded the goals of the team members, what might be holding them back, or whatever they wanted to talk about. But we kind of took turns talking about why not you? I had heard that once. There's really no reason why people cannot get to the top of our company. It doesn't matter the nationality or the background. So we kind of went around the room, and it's kind of like you all had a feel for each other of where they were at in the business. They made connections with each other. And we just kind of said, why not you? You could be that person. So we went from there, and yes, you could advance the slide. And we had other, wonderful meetings where team got together and got to see each other and bond with each other. But then there's those magic magical times when you're out and you run into somebody who is a mentor like Wendy Campbell, and she took her time and mentored some of these ladies at the very end of our table. And that was right before we had a wrap-up session with her the next day. And that was totally impromptu. We just happened to be out to dinner, and my team had eyed her through the glass in another room, and if I wouldn't have been there, I may not have been able to get her for the team. So it's good to stick with your leaders, like I said. And so I asked her to come over, and she spent that valuable time with us, and that was so impactful for many of our team members. So you want to, even if your leader is not with you, take advantage and reach out to those people that you think you could learn from. You know, I've heard stories of sideline buddies staying in touch, inviting each other on their calls, their Zoom calls, so they can all learn from each other. There's people that might have the same background, the same career, the same circumstance. And so you want to make those connections. So I'd love for you to think of conference not just about the agenda, the main stage, the breakouts, but also the connections that you can make that will last a lifetime. And just remember that everyone who comes to conference was once new at one time, but those experiences all add up to become, you know, the person that you want to be in this career. So thank you, Kurt. It was a great conference. I encourage everyone to come to St. Louis.
Thanks, Sharon. We had a great time, and Lori and I got to grab you and Doug for dinner at Camelback and hang out for a few minutes, and we had fun doing that. So thanks for sharing. This is another thing that happens at conference that's really not on the agenda. It's kind of the experience and maybe something that you take home. You see recognition, you see a lot of things, and we've got somebody special tonight, Katie Parsh, and she's from the heartland of America up in Nebraska, where a lot of our great fruits and vegetables are grown. And Katie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you had an incredible experience kind of embracing how important it is to stay on the fast track with our business when you were in Phoenix. Is that true?
Yes, Kurt. Thanks for inviting me to share tonight. Like you said, my name is Katie Parsh, and I've been with the Juice Plus Company for 5 years. I went to my first conference in Nashville in 2011. But I took the slow track to VF. Life was busy, and I had my son Ben, he's pictured there on the slide, my first Juice Plus baby. And I missed several conferences, and then my team started to grow in this last year, and I ended up slow tracking to sales coordinator in September. So I got the additional commission that comes with being a sales coordinator, but I was still given the chance to meet the fast track requirements between the fall and spring conference. And I did, and it was so exciting. I got a call from corporate to congratulate me. I got the $500 bonus, and I got a certificate and a pin in the mail. And my team was very supportive, and you can see there my sponsor, Jake, and I at conference. They surprised me with a crown, a sash, and flowers for when I walked the stage in Phoenix. I received a plaque and a smart bracelet also then at conference. And on the next slide there, you can see my very supportive husband and our team at one of our dinners. Like our last speaker said, you know, we spent a lot of time together as a team. And so in my experience, I just want to say that fast tracking was very exciting and very rewarding. And many of our team members and myself have our eye on fast tracking to senior sales coordinator by St. Louis. So my advice is to go to conference, see what's possible, set a goal, and celebrate with your team when that goal is achieved. There are so many tools, as we've seen online, and you have your upline to support you and make it happen. I love being a stay-at-home mom, which I can do now that I'm a sales coordinator, and I have a greater vision for making a life and not just a living.
What a transition to me, Katie. I love the fact that so many of us can do that, just make a life, not just a living in this business. Thanks for sharing your heart, and thanks for sharing how the company just stepped up and got you on that path to fast track. And hopefully we'll see you in St. Louis fast tracking the sales coordinator, senior sales coordinator. That's exciting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're going to transition here to back to our main stage. This is Saturday morning now, and Julie kind of set the stage here for us talking about Generation Plus. You know, I've always said that the Juice Plus company is not a ground floor opportunity, but it's been a launching pad for anybody at every generation that was ready to step up to the plate and work hard to build a business that could benefit you and your family for generations to come. And I got to share one of my best buddies, Tim Elmore. He spoke at our prayer breakfast a few years ago, and he is the founder and president of a company called growingleaders.com. He works with major league sports teams like the Kansas City Royals, where he works with the new and emerging young leaders and helps them mesh with the existing mature leaders to make that team stronger and better in the future. And that's what he shared with us from the main stage. There's no way tonight that I could possibly share with you everything that he told us, but he talked about the different generations. He talked about the builders and the boomers and the busters and the Gen Ys and the millennials and the homelanders and all the different generations and our strengths and weaknesses and characteristics and how we can work better together to build our business. So make sure you go and visit growingleaders.com to hear all the great resources that he has for us. He blessed our socks off. If you ever get a chance to hear him or read one of his books, I promise you it'll bless you too. But to set the stage for how that really applies to our business today, we were able to do a little panel. And I had so much fun with these 6 phenomenal ladies on stage. I got to interview them and ask them some specific questions. And we've got one of them that's going to share with us for a minute tonight. And someone said earlier that NMDs were birthing NMDs. I think that was Julie. And every time I go to work with some of these gals in Missouri, and Casey and Chris live in Washington, Missouri, I told Casey on stage, I said, I feel like I'm at church. And that may sound strange, but let me tell you why. When you go to church, like our church, we have this nursery downstairs where all the kids are there, and there's just new babies being born, and there are new kids every week. And so I go to Missouri, and I see all these great new leaders that Casey and her team are birthing over there. And then I'll come home, and 4 to 6 months later, maybe I'll go back over there and be with them again. And what's so amazing is the ones that were babies that I was there 6 months ago, they've already birthed children. They already birthed new leaders. And so, Casey, since you were a part of this panel, can you just share with everybody for a few seconds here, a few minutes, what this business looks like to you as a millennial and how strong you think this company is building our business into the next generation? I think you think it's there for every generation. And what does that mean to you?
I do. I know it's there for every generation, Kurt. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're great.
Awesome. It's great to be with you guys tonight. Well, for those of you who weren't in Phoenix with us, the panel consisted of 6 of us. It was Christine and Barb, as you can see here on the screen, and Brandy and Jamie. So Christine and Barb have been buddies for 20 plus years, and then Brandy and Jamie for 10 plus years, and then myself and Leslie for 2 years. And I think one of the neatest things was hearing Christine and Barb and hearing about how they got started and how their obstacles were largely different than what we face now. But what we know is that the successful people, they know how to figure out really how to get through those obstacles, and they still do that today. So it's great to have leaders who are wise from their years of experience, but they also understand that they have things to learn from our generation, like social media, etc. And I think it was evident from the panel that true leadership characteristics and principles are timeless. They're really timeless, but the tools change and they evolve over time, but great leaders evolve with them. And so that brings us to today's landscape. 20 years ago, they didn't have the research, the stories, social media, like I mentioned, or the healthcare landscape that we currently have now. And even on Saturday morning, Jay mentioned that at conference, he mentioned that the only way to get out of this healthcare crisis is to stand up, take control, take ownership ourselves, and then inspire others to do the same. And I know we're perfectly positioned with the best product in the whole world to do something about that. And because of all this, we know that we should be totally bulletproof. So then when you couple that with this generation of millennials, like we've already mentioned, who don't want to work for 30 years, building someone else's dream so that they can finally have time and financial freedom, when you couple that together with everything I already mentioned, we know that we have a better way. So we can work hard. You know, these younger people can work hard for 3 to 5 years and really put all their focus and effort into it and create a life full of freedom that maybe we thought was never possible. So we know that our company's been here for over 40 years, the Juice Plus products for over 20 years, but we know absolutely without a shadow of a doubt that there has never been a better time to really dig in, to take action, to go out there, be the plus, and make a life.
Thank you, Casey. That was amazing. And I think we're going to move to the next phase of this. And Julie, you're going to take back over and introduce Kelly?
Yes. And so I am so excited to introduce one of my Gen Y team members. I just love her. Kelly Kenner is from Jacksonville, Florida, and she brought the best little team with her to this conference. Every time I saw them, they looked like they were having so much fun. And I asked Kelly tonight to share about one of the main stage presentations, Kimberly Warlow. Go ahead, Kel.
Thank you everyone for having me tonight. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So Kimberly Warlow, she spoke she came to the main stage and led a really great training, and I loved her energy, and her overall theme that she kind of had was about being contagious. And so we know that being contagious, that word means likely to spread and affect others. And it really resonated with me. I'm like, that is what our mission is to inspire people to live healthier lives and affect them in that way. So she one of my biggest takeaways from her was about team building. And so 3 things that she talked about that really stuck with me were commitment, trust, and leadership. And so for commitment, that was huge for me. I'm a full-time student. I'm a server in a restaurant. And, you really want to think, what's your commitment? Are you being intentional every day to touch your business? Are you allowing that time? And that's where you're going to really see growth, is when you are committed and you make that decision. The second thing she talked about was trust. And I love this. Trusting your process. Our business is revolved around relationships. And we've all learned that, getting to know people, really building that relationship and building that trust, they're going to respect what you say and want to come alongside you. And just also knowing that everyone's journey is going to be different in this business and not falling into that comparison trap. The third thing she talked about with team building is leadership. And this was huge for me as I'm trying to grow my business and I'm a sales coordinator. You want to be courageous and you want to be really easy to follow. Ask yourself, is what I'm doing duplicatable? And I love that, because I can get really ambitious thoughts, and I'm thinking about events, but I have to think, can someone else duplicate this? And she came to the stage with this energy, and she talked about how important it is to be inviting with your energy, and ask your team. And I love this. Ask your team, what do they want so that you can help them achieve it? And that was really huge for me, and has really been helpful as I got home and started to plan out and put events on the calendar. And I thought I'd share that tonight. So thank you guys for having me.
That was great. Kelly, thank you so much for sharing tonight. And next is Carrie Radnoff. We had a couple of other main stage presentations. Jay Martin, of course, our president and founder, and then Sean and Jennifer Myers. And Carrie is my generation. My people. She and I have grown up in this business together, and anytime I get to hear her, I love hearing her share. So I am so excited she's going to share her takeaways and some highlights. Go ahead, Carrie.
Thank you. And yes, I think this was my 32nd conference, and it was among my favorites. And I always love to hear from our president and founder, Jay Martin. And as you and Casey mentioned, he was talking about the magnitude of the problem, but something that shocked me is that I didn't realize, if trends continue, that healthcare costs will overtake total income in 15 years. And so we know that we need to be part of the healthcare solution and the financial solution, but we look around and we encounter people all the time who don't have any earthly idea where to start. And that's where we can come in. We can equip them. And as he's talking about this, I was thinking about people I haven't put on memory jogger in all this time, new people. But he also talked about that we hear all the time that if you love what you do, it's not like work. Loving what you do is so important. but even more important is loving who you do it with. And so it's so exhilarating to be at conference with, what, 6,000 of your closest friends. And this transitions over to Jennifer and Sean Meyer's wrap up of the they were the I love these pictures. They closed out the conference, and it was so much about relationships, and it started with their relationship with each other. I just love their energy together on the stage. And they had a number of pictures throughout the years of people from corporate and people out in the field, and just how relationships have been so important to our company all the way along, and that's never going to change. And Sean was saying that we cannot bring the conference experience to those people who didn't get to go. But we can take home, we can bring home that go to work attitude. And even if you weren't at conference, now's the time to draw a line in the sand and say, from this day forward, I will make a renewed commitment, because now's the time, we're in the right place. And he made a very, very important point, and that is, get out your calendars, because you get what you schedule. And so I encourage all of you not to miss the next conference, and open your calendar now and put the dates in your calendar for October 20th to the 22nd, where you can come to my hometown of St. Louis, Missouri, and we will have another spectacular event. Thank you so much for this wrap up tonight.
Carrie, thank you. And you know, like Carrie, that was just perfect to go into what I wanted to share, is that there isn't any way we could bring home what just happened to you. Hopefully you got a glimpse tonight, if you weren't able to join us, into really how special this conference is. You know, not just the speakers and the inspiration, but the gatherings, just seeing the people that are part of this. And of course, one of the most inspiring parts of the conference is when the new national marketing directors take the stage with their families and they come out to their song. And I wish I had pictures of all of them. I was the most inspired by each and every one of them, just listening to the stories. And that's something that you'll get to experience a little bit on the virtual office. They will have their speeches very soon. We'll be able to share specific stories with specific people, like Michaela Peterson. She's in the healthcare field. She had her beautiful family up there. I mean, just amazing speech. Ellie Shepley is a young Gen Y, single. She lives in New York City. She took New York City by storm and became an NMD. I mean, just amazing stories. And then, of course, I just want to thank Kurt also for his coordination of the prayer breakfast. It's just amazing to have thousands of people come together at this optional event at our conference. It kicks off on Friday morning at 7 o'clock, and it's just such a blessing. So Kurt, thank you for organizing that. And then of course, just the people, like I said, you know, it's very special to be able to meet people like Dr. Sears. You know, we see him on videos, but this is the Farrar family taking a picture with him, and I love that. This is the kind of thing that can happen, and it's so neat to say, you know, I met Dr. Sears and I talked with him and I asked him this question, and you can say things like that. And it's just neat that they want to get up close and personal with our Juice Plus community. And then on the very last night of conference, you definitely don't want to go home on Saturday. You want to stay on Saturday night, and you want to take your team to this dress up dance. This was so fantastic. Our company knows how to put on a party. I mean, they are absolutely amazing, with a live band, everybody dressed up like the 80s. And it was just a really great time and fun with your team especially. So I'm sure we're going to do this again in St. Louis, October 20th to the 22nd. Meet me in St. Louis. And let me just encourage you to decide right now to attend. This is the Follow the Leader business. You want to book your hotel room, book your plane ticket early. That's the smartest thing, so that you get a good price on it. Encourage your team to do that. Encourage them to use their team building bonuses. Put that money away and reinvest it in the business. And I want to leave with a challenge tonight to take the excitement that we just came home with from Phoenix, carry that excitement and passion through these summer months as we go into St. Louis. Set your goals, and I'll tell you how to reach them. It's what Casey Schloss said from the stage, and I love it. She said, it's all about activity and unapologetic sharing. she said, now is the time. And that's what I want to close with tonight. Kurt, thank you for organizing this. Thank you to all the speakers that were part of this tonight. And meet me in St. Louis.